All right, what is up, 5th and 6th graders? Mrs. Houston here, and I am going to use this time to go through the practice sentences with you from page 461. All right, the 3 sentences, it's going to be mixed between patterns 1 and 2. So subject, noun, verb, pattern 1, or pattern 2, which has your transitive verb and your direct objects. Okay, if I'm going too fast for you, the nice thing about the video is you can pause it, you can rewind and watch it again. So just let me know if you have any questions, okay? And at the end of the video, I'm also just going to go through your transitive and intransitive verbs and the difference between the two at the bottom of the page. So you can go along with me with that as well. Okay, let's get started. Number 1, have Thomas and Alice sent wedding invitations to their family and friends? Now you're going to notice, first thing about this is that it is a question. So in my head, I always like to take the inverted sentence, which is a question, and revert it back to a statement. So it'd be like, Thomas and Alice have sent wedding invitations to their family and friends. So maybe think of it that way. And I'll say that again when we kind of get to the subject and verb. All right. But as always, I want you to try and find the prepositional phrases first, because that helps shorten our sentences a little bit. Okay. So first preposition I see is to. So to what or to who? To family and friends. So there's actually more than one object of the preposition. And you will see they are connected by a conjunction. So that makes them compound objects of the preposition. C-O-P. And then don't forget your parenthesis. I think that is our only prepositional phrase. Oh, I forgot to do the word there. So whose family and friends? Their family and friends. So it is a possessive pronoun adjective. Okay, because it shows ownership. It's possessing. Okay. All right, so only prepositional phrase I see. So the rest we have is, have Thomas and Alice sent wedding invitations? Okay, again, I'm going to flip it. So it's a statement. Thomas and Alice have sent wedding invitations. Okay, so who is the sentence about? Thomas and Alice, 2 people, and they're connected by a conjunction, and so they're going to be compound because there's more than one. Okay, so Thomas and Alice, what's being said about the subject? Thomas and Alice have sent. Remember I said Thomas and Alice have sent wedding invitations. So we have a helping verb and our main verb. Okay, so have is our helping verb. And usually when you have a question, your helping verb is always going to be first because they inverted it. So that's always something good to look for at the beginning of a sentence if you see it is a question. Okay? So have is our helping verb. Sent is our main verb. Now, to see if it's pattern 2, meaning it's going to have a direct object after the verb. So you're going to be looking for a noun, that it's transferring the action sent to something else. Okay, so Thomas and Alice sent what? Is there a noun? Well, they sent invitations, right? So that is a noun. So that means that it is a transitive verb, meaning it's transferring its action to a direct object, another noun that's receiving the action. Okay. Adjective would be wedding. Okay. Because in this case, you might think, well, wedding is a noun. But in this case, it's actually being used as an adjective because it's saying what kind of invitations? Wedding invitations. So it's actually being used as an adjective in this sentence. Okay. And they're not sending a wedding, right? They're sending invitations. So make sure that you find the right word for the direct object. Okay. Now we have every word classified. The type of sentence, it is an interrogative sentence because it is a question. So INT. Now, I don't have a lot of room here, so it might get kind of sloppy. But I'm going to divide and do my underlining. So I would divide between Alice and sent. Okay. And we do have to underline here because we have part of our predicate at the beginning of the sentence because it's a question, remember? So have is going to be double underlined. I know it's kind of hard to tell. And then the rest of your complete predicate, sent wedding invitations with your prepositional phrase to their family and friends. Okay, and then your complete subject would just be Thomas and Alice. Okay, so for your pattern, you're going to write subject, noun, verb, transitive, direct object, pattern, 2. All right. Let's go ahead and let's go to sentence number 2. Soft, soothing music lifts my spirits. Now you may think, oh, this is probably pattern 1 because it's really short. That's not always the case, okay? So make sure that you read it carefully. So, first of all, any prepositional phrases? I don't see any. Okay, so this is our sentence we're dealing with. So, who or what is the sentence about? Well, it is about the music. Oops. Subject, noun, SN. Okay, what's being said about the subject? The subject lifts. Verb. V. Okay, now does it transfer its action to anything? So music lifts what? Spirits. Spirits is a noun, and that would be our direct object, so that makes our verb transitive. And then the word my, whose spirits? My spirits. So that is a possessive pronoun adjective. Sorry, it gets kind of tight there. Okay, PPA. All right, so let's go back to the beginning of our sentence. Looks like we have some words that modify music. What kind of music? Soft music. What kind of music? Soothing music. So they are both adjectives modifying our subject music. Okay, we're going to divide between our subject and our verb. So our complete subject is soft, soothing music. Our complete predicate is lifts my spirits. It is a declarative sentence. It has a direct object, so it is pattern 2. Verb transitive direct object pattern 2. All right, last one. During the winter, Erica's son fished for a living in the icy Alaskan waters. Prepositional phrases, we actually have quite a few. So first, during the winter. During is a preposition. Winter is object. The is article adjective. For what? For living. Here's another prepositional phrase. Is an article adjective. In what? In the icy Alaskan waters. So in what? In the waters is actually where you're going to finish your noun. So preposition there. The is an article adjective. Okay, so what kind of waters? Icy waters. And what kind of waters? Alaskan waters. So these are both adjectives. A-D-J. Okay. Now we have all our prepositional phrases. So let's check out our sentence. So it looked like a really long sentence, but here's all we have left. Erica's son fished. Pretty simple, right? So who is the sentence about? It is about the son, right? He's the one that fished. So it is our subject noun. What's being said about the subject? The son fished. Verb. Now, I'm going to ask you, is it transitive? In this case, it can't transfer its action to anything, right? There's nothing left after it because we already got rid of our prepositional phrases. So it has to just be a regular verb. There is nothing it can even transfer it to. There's no noun after it. So it is that's what we call an intransitive verb. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But basically, if it's intransitive, it means it's not transitive. It has nothing to transfer to. Okay, last word we have left is Erica. So whose son? Erica's son. So in this case, it's a possessive noun adjective because Erica is a noun. It's the name of a person. And if I were to divide, I'd divide after son. Now we have to underline again because during the winter actually is part of our complete predicate. So you have to underline that twice. I'm going to underline the rest of my predicate twice, all of this. And then my complete subject is just Erica's son. Underline once. It's declarative. So for this one, subject, noun, verb, pattern 1. There we go. Classified all our sentences. Hopefully that made sense. So let me know if you have any questions. All right, let's move down to the bottom real quick. Like I said, the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs. Basically, transitive means the verb can transfer its action to a noun after it. If it is intransitive, it means in, meaning not, so it's not transitive, meaning it can't transfer anything. It's just a regular verb. So if you look on the blue side, transitive verb just means an action verb with a direct object after it. So my family ate what? Breakfast. Breakfast is a noun. It transfers ate to breakfast. If it is intransitive, it means it has no object after it. It has nothing it can transfer its action to. So it is an action verb still, but it has nothing to transfer. So it's just a regular action verb. So in this example, on the green side, the family ate what? Well, it doesn't give us an answer because in the hotel, you might say, well, hotel's a noun after it, but if you look closely, in the hotel is a prepositional phrase. And so hotel is an object of the preposition. What do we know about prepositional phrases? Once we find them, we act like they're not there anymore. So basically this sentence says the family ate. Ate what? Well, it doesn't tell us. There's nothing after it for it to transfer its action to. Okay? So if you look at this chart below, this might be something you'll see like on a worksheet. They'll say, what's the verb? Okay, well, the verb would be sent, let's say. And then it is transitive because it is transferring the action to something. Like if we're going through sentence number 1, it is sent is transferring to invitations, okay? So it is transitive. If you look at number 2, lifts is the verb, and lifts what? Lifts my spirit. So we did have a direct object, so that's transitive. But if you looked at number 3, our verb was fished, and fished what? There was nothing after it, so we put an I for intransitive. Okay? So basically it means an action verb that has a direct object and an action verb that doesn't, is basically the difference between the two. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions on that. Thanks.